Hi, everybody, and thank you guys for taking some time to learn about DoubleCheck. Very excited to be here. I know the world is a little bit of a crazy place right now, but we all have to move on with business. I'll start off with my background. I come from the banking industry. I spent about 17 years working in various banks, and at the height of my career, I worked for the largest privately held bank in the country. And I'm sure most of you are familiar with one thing I dealt with every single day in my career were NSF events, whether it was, in your case, members complaining about fees or service, or whether it was my CEO saying, please stop waiving the fees, or whether it was the regulator saying, you guys have got to get along better. And I said, there's got to be a better solution to this. So I took a step back and I started examining what the problems were as it related to these NSF events. And that's how DoubleCheck was born. I'm very excited to share with you, and I'm going to jump into the presentation. So today, there's about 1.75 to 2 billion NSF events that take place every single year, and it generates almost $50 billion in revenue to financial institutions. But this revenue has come at a huge price with member friction and issues with financial institutions. But we've identified three major problems that actually happen with your members today. When they do have an NSF event, they typically do not find out for 3 days that they've had an NSF. And who are they blaming for the stress? The credit union. They're looking at you saying, why didn't you help me? And unfortunately, typically the payee finds out first. The second biggest problem is that credit unions don't have the tools, the financial incentive, or the mechanisms to be able to service members the way they want to or need to be serviced. But the third and most substantial problem are the things that happen after the NSF event. Canceled service, return to item fees, late fees, ruined relationships. And every single one of those, they don't look at themselves and say, I created this problem. They blame the credit union for every single one of them. And that creates friction between the credit union and the members. So what do? Our CU Now platform, which is our flagship, when your member has an NSF event, on behalf of the credit union, we text, we email, we have an optional robocall, your member, and as far as the member is concerned, it's you. Then they are pushed to your online banking, which hopefully would be Typhone in this case, and the member is authenticated. From there, after they are authenticated, the member is presented with their entire day scenario. Which items you chose to pay, which items were chose to be returned, which ones were even being covered in your courtesy pay program or your overdraft program. And from here, your member is given all the power. And the member can alter a pay return decision, such as they were going to pay your mother-in-law and your gardener, but they were going to return the mortgage and the credit card. The member could switch it, or the member could make up their deficit using a credit card or other form of payment, or the member can do absolutely nothing, but now your member is informed. You'll notice on the right-hand side, we have two additional products called Member Pay and Opt-in Now. Member Pay works with your aging overdrafts, and Opt-in Now allows our products to be working with your debit card. But all of these things are to empower your member and give them control of a very unfortunate situation. So what are the three most common questions that we get asked? And we put this at the front of the presentation on purpose. What happens to my NSF fee? Because we know that 70 to 80% of your non-interest income comes from this one source of revenue. The answer is absolutely nothing. You will keep 100% of your NSF revenue. But the member can mitigate everything that happens afterwards. In California, we have something called traffic school. So if I get a speeding ticket or illegal U-turn ticket, I can still go to traffic school and my insurance company doesn't find out. And just like traffic school, our service is optional at time of use. So the member can use it or not use it, but now they're at least in control. Second question is, do we touch your core? We do not. We are currently fully integrating with Jack Henry, and we are also working with FIS and soon to be Fiserv, but no, we do not need to touch your core. And the third question is, are we white label? Absolutely. Our job is to make the credit union a hero, to take the credit union and make them the good guy during this very unfortunate situation. So what does the credit union get out of this? You will get a brand new organic non-interest income stream. So if the member uses it, only if they use it, they alter a pay return decision or make up the deficit, the credit union will charge a small transaction fee. DoubleCheck gets a small piece of that, but the credit union gets the lion's share of that. And because it's optional at time of use, every single member in the credit union is automatically enrolled in our product. That's right. No opt-in, no sales process. Imagine a product that you launch and every member automatically has it. You get real-time fraud tools, such as a member can mark an item, not just the ones that are being returned, but also the ones that are about to be paid, allowing the credit union to mitigate losses. And also, and most importantly, and this is what we hear from our credit unions, you're going to improve the member experience. And what I mean by that especially is, think about this. Instead of the member yelling at some of your tellers or staff saying, why didn't you? The teller gets to say, we did, we texted, we emailed you. Do we have your updated contact information? Because when you have a problem, we want to have your back. But my favorite situation is when the member says, thank goodness you reached out to me, because this could have been catastrophic. And there's many other benefits, compliance, cross-sell opportunities. It gets better and better. So the other benefits that are happening today, there are class action lawsuits taking place as it relates to your current overdraft program. And by the way, you get to keep it, but look what the judge kept in. He threw everything out as it related to overdraft, but he kept in two. And the major one, the credit union failed to act in good faith. We become another level of protection. Our reporting and documentation we give you will allow you to go to anybody and say, look what we did. Look how many times we contacted them to solve the problem. We become a level of protection for you. And our platform works, as I said, we process all the NSF events. Everything takes place on our system platform. Even though it looks, feels, and smells just like you, it takes place with us. The member has a portal, they get to see everything. It's a single sign-on, it's a very fluid process. It's branded your credit union, and the member gets to see everything. But our admin dashboard, which we also call mission control, that's the superpower. That really means if a member chooses to call the branch or use your online, your telephone banking, well, from there, you get to have a positive member interaction. And the tellers can service the members the way they want to be and ask the appropriate questions. So what does the member experience look like? Here's a sample text and a sample email. You'll notice we show the last 4 digits of the account number, and we show a cutoff time because we work within your very tight window that you have. We show the last 4 digits of the account number because we want them to know they're not being phished. On the right-hand side, you'll see an email. We give them a little bit more information from there. And then after the member logs in, actually, I want to remember it's a single sign-on, so whatever their typical online banking would be, that's what place they would go to. And then after they click it, they'll get to this. We like to give them a landing page. If it's their first time, we want them to know why they should be using it, what's going on, what their cutoff time is, a clock, everything. And from here, the member gets to take on their journey. And you'll notice in the top right, if they want to call the branch or telephone banking, all of this. It looks and feels just like the member's current online banking portal. From here, I get to see it. Wow, here's what's going on in today's scenario. Johnny Depp Chocolatier, Sunset. Okay, so my overdraft is covering all of this. And I'm like, all right, what do I want to do? The member has not been charged a dime yet. They're getting all of this incredible experience for free. I can choose whatever I want. I can leave it as is. And if I leave it as is, it's whatever the credit union's decisions would have been otherwise. I can choose to return the item. So I don't want you to pay this item into overdraft. Why is that especially important? What happens if I pay $943.07, My member now owes me that money. And if I don't pay it back to the credit union as the member in 30 to 45 days, you will close me out and report me to check systems, and I am completely unbankable in the United States. So I may not want you to use it. You've already charged me my NSF fee. That's come and left the building. But now I want to decide what I want to do, not what you as an institution chooses to do. Report fraud. If they're fraudulent items, we will notify you immediately and let you know that there is an issue with these items and to send them back, rather than putting yourself into a hard loss position. Just picture this, $943, and they're all fraud in this case, and you're about to pay them, you're going to be on the hook as the credit union for that $943. So put the member in part, make the member part of the process. So what are we going to do? So in this case, I'm going to choose to pay it. I don't want to cover in that overdraft and potentially be closed out in 30 to 45 days. I'd rather move it to my credit card where they'll give me much more liberal terms. I'm going to pay I got all four here. I'm going to choose to pay these and set the situation in my mind. But you know what? Tony Soprano, you know what? The guy's been a bad guy to me, so I'm going to go ahead and return it to him. I go to my next step. Again, have not been charged anything yet. But check this out. There's a little button down, a little click here. And that I cannot move to the payment items. I know that I owe $913, but it won't let me move forward. I have to acknowledge what the ripple effect or the consequences of not paying Tony Soprano are going to be. Then it will let me move forward. Or I may say, you know what, for $30, you're right, that's going to have big consequences to me. Let's go ahead and pay Tony. If I pay Tony, I go to my next screen and the disclosure is gone, because I no longer have that. I no longer have that problem that's going to happen afterwards. I then say, okay, well, that's good, but let's go ahead and not pay Tony. We'll go and return it to him anyway. I'm going to hit my disclosure. I get to my next screen, and then my options come up. I can use credit card or cash. Now, we are a platform, so we can implement or instill other payment options for your small business members. If you wanted to make micro loans available, whatever you want to do, our job is to be there for you so you can be there for your members. We are very intuitive, so if I want to click back, I can always move back. But if I want to use cash, you may say, well, wait a second, you're not putting cash in the machine. Nope, you're not. So I have to get into a branch before the cutoff time. And here we are disclosing it to the member, telling them, you need to get into the branch, bring us the cash we need. If they don't bring in the cash, not a problem. It will go back and default to whatever decisions were made, and nothing will actually happen. But let's go ahead and use credit card for this. And we are using CyberSource's Visa's platform to process our transactions. So to give you an idea of how high our security is. And I'm entering my credit card information and I'm about to hit pay. At any point during this, I can move off the screen. You'll notice in the top right-hand point, that's where that transaction fee is disclosed. We recommend $20 per account per day, regardless of how many items they actually have. You've already kept all your NSF fee. You don't need to charge them anymore as it relates to their NSFs. Let's just kind of solve the problem for them. If I hit submit, moves forward, processing the transaction is going through. This is actually on CyberSource's system. They get an email, they get a confirmation, everything is set. Now, mission control is kind of a small sample here, is where you guys will get all your reports. You can see how many members have actually solved the problem, how many members have logged in but didn't do anything. Part of what our goal is to help you get your members utilizing the service. So we want you to either, whether giving them more time, whether it's more payment options, whatever it may be. Also, if a member comes in, you want them to be able to load up and see what the member has done, particularly for that day. I know we have limited time, so I'm going to jump back off the dashboard and give you some sample screens of what our dashboard. Oh, we are fully mobile responsive as well. So if they have an iPhone or a Google phone, whatever it may be, it will work with any device they have. Our mission control, which you just saw a sample of, allows the branch staff to be able to pull up various members and manage the relationship. From here, it looks you'll notice it's very similar to what a member would actually see. And if they want to see what the member's decisions were and the teller can take an action, they have all the updated contact information. And our goal here is not only just to allow the tellers to be able to help them during that particular day, but if they want to be able to reach out to the member after the cutoff time because they didn't resolve anything, or send them a letter saying, hey, you know what? We texted and we emailed you, somehow something is wrong with your contact information, because we will give you documentation on all of our successes and failures every single day. Maybe you should give us a call and update your information and let us know, so if it happens again, we can be there for you. Again, cash or credit card, whatever the member happens to be using. We are using WorldPay as a way to allow you to accept or not use particular credit cards. And then you can also see customer, or in this particular case, member communication history, what time SMSs were sent at. Because when that member comes in there, you want to be able to tell them what you did for them, even if they didn't get it. And then you can see what actions the tellers made. This works great for branch to branch. What the member actually did as far as opening up emails, did they sign in? We're going to take your #1 problem and we're going to make it a great experience. Just picture this, the amount of anxiety that a member would actually have with an unfortunate situation and no control of what's actually happening. So you'll notice at the top, they could even resend a text or an email if they notice something isn't going through. Think about how timely this is right now with the pandemic going on and all the problems that are about to hit, the massive unemployment we have, and putting that member in real-time control of huge problems they're about to have. This is my favorite screen. So people have always asked me, so what's a member really going to get out of this? What do we get out of this? And after being asked that question, I came up with one slide, and it's hard dollars and hard service. Look what happens to your members today if they don't have us. So there's your NSF fee. If you're charging $35, that's not a problem. Same thing with or without us. But look what's going on to your member without us. They're getting late fees, $75 in late fees, returned item fees. All these are hitting your member, but they're not helping you. They're getting damage to the relationship. If it's somebody, if I'm a small business member or I'm a consumer and I paid somebody, well, my relationship with a returned item now has friction in it, and I'm looking to my credit union saying, you could have helped me with this. Possible account closure, as we discussed before. Overdraft is fine and courtesy pay, but let the member choose to use it, because otherwise their clock starts ticking. Or they could at least use member pay, and as they get closer to it, they can help resolve it. And there's possible damage to their credit. If this is their mortgage or credit card, and now there's a 30-day late on there because the item was returned, you're going to hit their credit. And as a financial institution, we want to be able to make loans to our members, but a single late can damage my credit as much as 50 or more points. And the member doesn't know what's going on. Look what happens with us. All of those problems, they're mitigated. There's a small transaction fee, and look what you just saved the member. And that's just 2 NSFs, 2. So imagine how many times it's for. It grows exponentially. And then the credit union's revenue, it went up. But as the executives have told us from our credit unions, it's great. Love the revenue, it's nice. But what this does for our members is priceless. Can't match that. So why do the credit unions want us? You get to be the heroes. That's our corporate philosophy here. We want to make you the good guys. We want to generate referrals. That's a great story. When people say things like, my credit union was there for me, that's what you want to have. And we preserve your existing NSF fees because we're putting a new tier in there. Sometimes a credit union would say, well, what if we want to offer your service for free? My response always is, charge it and then reverse it. Allow the member to feel the benefit that you just gave them. Because right now, you're just charging for problems. Imagine charging for the solution and then giving it back to your member. Lifetime value. If you're closing them out We know that you will experience, as an industry average, 15% attrition. Half of that is due to dissatisfaction. And then half of that can be a result of your NSF problems. Imagine being able to keep those members. And on average, at $300 per member, the lifetime value can be massive. And we make money. It's great. We're going to go out of our way for the members, but we will generate new revenue to be able to service the members the way they want to be serviced. A large institution, top 20 institution in the United States, did a survey. They spent 6 figures doing this survey. And out of that survey, they found that 59% of their customers, in your case members, would actually change financial institutions to get our service. There's a lot of products we offer: checking accounts, savings accounts, online banking. How many products do you know that somebody would actually change to get? 59% of the overdrawn respondents would actually change to get our service. 76% had no problem paying it, and 98% found the product to be appealing. Those are powerful numbers. And what do your members get? They get a second chance. You're taking a step back and you're saying, here you go. Something's wrong. We're going to give this last effort for you to be able to fix it. You're giving them timely notifications. So we work within that return window, and you're minimalizing fraud, and that they take that personally, and the risk of accidental issues. Our competitive advantages are substantial. We're easy to implement. We're designed to evolve. We have a patent pending portfolio. We are a company designed by bankers. So you'll notice that every aspect of our business is designed to understand what your members want and to be able to service them the way you want to be able to service them. And our team comes from the industry, and we're not a bunch of guys or girls working from a garage. We're seasoned professionals in each of our respective fields. Ann Lee is our Director of Banking Operations, 37 years, and absolutely understands the finest details of operations. Anyways, that is our product. Love to be able to talk in more detail. But before we end the webinar, I want to show you one thing that I believe will relate directly to your institution. We have pulled every single credit union's call report up, and we reverse engineered your numbers to figure out what currently you're making in NSF revenue. And from that, assuming 65% of a member would use it, and they have 3 NSFs in that particular day, this is what your revenue would look like. I would love to provide you your sheet for you. It pulls from almost 1.25 million pieces of information. We also tell you that you'll get an increase in NSF revenue in a member-centric way. We talked earlier about what it looked like as keeping those members. Told you, at least 25% of your 15% attrition can be a result of NSF issues. Wouldn't it be great if we can keep those members and not lose them out the back door, and you become more productive? So that first number you see at the top, that's an actual line item. And the rest of them, those are opportunity values that you're going to get. I'd like to end it on this. This is one of our pilot credit unions using it. It's a game changer. This is what we are offering to you as a member of Typhone. We'd love to be able to partner with you and be able to get this product out there and make it as seamless as possible for you. But it's a game changer. And as far as the timeliness of it, you can't get much better. And we're very, very excited to be able to share it with you and do a one-on-one presentation. We can get more into the details of technology and operations, but you will find, because we are bankers, our goal is to make it as little friction and seamless as possible. So that's it. Appreciate you taking the time to listen to it, and we look forward to meeting with you in the future.
Thank you, Joel. Appreciate you joining today and giving us a presentation, teaching us more about DoubleCheck. For anyone that does have questions, you can submit those questions through GoToMeeting on the right-hand side. We'll stay on for a moment or two if any questions do come through. Other than that, again, Joel, just want to say thank you. We really, truly appreciate your partnership. If you have any questions about DoubleCheck and are a current Typhone customer, please reach out to your account manager or our sales team, and we'd be happy to help. If you're not a current Typhone customer, please feel free to reach out to Joel directly. His contact info is provided in the webinar description. The webinar will be hosted as a recording on the Typhone website, and you can access it at any time. Again, thank you all. Thank you, Joel, and have a great day, everyone.
Thank you.